I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love? What if I knew only the truth? What if my mind accepted everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. Oh, Mother, Father, Spirit, guide us from above. Our sons and daughters look to us.
Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Zugru and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
This part.
Let's try this.
Okay. So wait till you sit back down.
Oh.
Hi, good morning. Come on in. You're fine. Come on in.
Welcome. Thanks for being here.
You are not. You're never late for the sofa.
You are never late. Of course. Can you check ours too?
All right.
I hear us. Yay.
We're good.
We are.
All right, we're back here. All right. I'm telling you.
Is it hot?
It's hot for
what?
me.
Okay.
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah. I know. Remember that? It doesn't bother me.
That's right. I'm not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to say it
That's
doesn't
right.
bother
It
me.
doesn't bother me.
It doesn't. I don't.
You know, I manifest a lot, but I live in Phoenix, Arizona,
Right.
and it's hot.
It is hot.
I don't care what
But it
anybody
doesn't
says.
bother me. That's what Ann says to say. It
And
doesn't
most
bother
days it doesn't. So welcome. I'm Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns, and this is Reverend Dr. Michelle Zugwu, and we are Begin Within Ministry Sofa Sunday. So welcome here.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you.
Yay.
We are located at 7220 North 16th Street, Phoenix, Arizona. We're in building A1, and you'll know that because the girls are on the door.
That's
There you go. And we're at the home of Reverend Michelle Whittington, who has a wonderful practice here called Unleash Your Life. And she offers classes. Actually, this week she starts a coaching group as
Brand
well
new coaching
on
concept,
Thursday.
yeah.
And you can find her at unleashyourlife.us and find out more about what she has to offer here. And we're so excited. She's been our mentor for over a decade. We like to say over a decade versus giving away anybody's age. It's easier that way. Yeah.
Definitely longer than that. But I want to mention too, this space is available for rent. So if you're looking for a great location like
Absolutely.
we were to be able to start our ministry, this location, and it's all online at unleashyourlife.us, so that you can check out what that looks like. It's so reasonable and
Absolutely.
it's a beautiful space. There's 2 spaces here to reserve. So anyway, she doesn't know that we do that, but we always do that for her.
Sometimes she
And I'm so
listens.
grateful that, yeah, she doesn't ask us to plug for her, but we do because we
Exactly.
appreciate it. So welcome everybody, and should we get started?
We should. Are you praying us in?
I can pray us in.
All right,
Let's do
sounds
it.
good.
All right, let's all come into this space with a deep breath. Let's do one more of those. I need to be a little grounded, I think. Let's feel the feet on the floor, body in the seat. Bring ourselves here to this moment. Releasing anything that has happened already this morning. Just let it go. And release anything coming after our time together, knowing it will still be there. We're giving this time to ourselves, to this moment, to each other, to be here present. Recognizing one life, one power, one divine energy. We call that God. We call it Spirit. It is all there is. And it is moving in, as, and through each one of us. It is love, it is joy, it is that calm, that confidence, that peace. Each one of us manifest it uniquely. And from that place of my knowing, from that place of who and whose I am, I speak my word for all of us here present and all of us out there in the world that will hear this or not, knowing that as we all allow ourselves to be grounded in the moment, in this present now, we each receive what is ours to receive. I hold the highest and best for all of us. Knowing that as the ideas and the sharing, the laughter, and the ahas, and the wonderful knowledge and wisdom that comes through today, we all receive what is for us perfectly. We allow our hearts and our minds to be open to what is ours to take with us today. And I bless all teachers of all faiths, anywhere, all around the world, knowing that as they also allow themselves to be in the moment, to be expressing truth, the love flows and grows. And so I'm grateful for that knowing this morning. I'm grateful for each one of us here present doing the work of today. So I let it go, know and trust that it's already done perfectly in the mind of God. And together we say, and so it is.
Awesome. Thank you.
Whew.
Here we go. What a week. What a week it's
Is
been.
that how you're going to start?
I'm going to start with what a week.
I'm
It's
going to start with a
just,
drink of coffee.
okay, you do that. It's been a long week. It's been hot here. It's,
But I'm okay with it.
but you're okay with it. And so,
That's halfway.
today's topic, I choose from wisdom, not worry.
Oh.
And
I could have had this all week.
Right. Like, I wish I had looked at it earlier in the week, right?
Right.
Because what happens with choice is a lot of times I choose from past experience, what has happened previous that says, okay, here's my scenario, so I must respond or react. I sometimes
I was going to ask you, are you really choosing?
Am I
Or are you
choosing?
just reacting?
I'm probably reacting because it's
Yeah.
108.
Right. It's very hard
I
to.
have excuses. I have excuses today. I tell you, I'm telling you.
Well, I want to refresh our memory that the topic of this month is inner authority, the power of choice. But we have to
No.
use that power. Yes. And if you're just reacting because it's 108, which, yes, I agree. It's very hard to be like, give me a moment. I need to get into my power of choice. Hold on a second. Like, I'm just trying to get out of the heat as fast as possible and whatever.
And so if you're not in a space where I just don't understand, it was 100 degrees in the Arctic Circle, so I can't imagine you live someplace where there's not heat right now, but that possibly could happen. So think about how you respond when you're hangry, right? There are so many things that we do that are reactive versus choice. And that is our topic in choosing from the wisdom space, not the worry space.
Right.
And there are some times, right, when we are so worried about how are we going to pay the bills, right? I mean, that one comes up, like, how are we going to buy gas?
When it's $5 a gallon.
Right. You know, it's like, how am I going to pay my electric bill?
Yeah.
Because I have it down to 65. And no, I don't. No, I don't. It's at 78, like a normal human. But these type of things, like we put it in our mind and we ruminate and everything else instead of allowing ourselves to have choice. We react. We're filled with the what ifs or what happened, and then we don't get to the wisdom. So how do we get to wisdom?
Well, when we're trying to build the life we love, and we want to be intentional about that life, yeah, the choices have to happen. And the choice of, I always like to try to get myself as present as possible. And I like to take those deep breaths like we did earlier to try to anchor back into what's actually happening, which is right now, what's actually happening. All that worry and all that stress, Lyric, don't freak out, but we just literally I'm not going to explain the whole situation because it's her personal story, but there was a moment yesterday where my daughter, who's in the back, who's our wonderful sound tech today, she shares that role with her twin brother, so it's her Sunday to do all things sound tech. She sets up our stuff and everything. She does an amazing job, so shout
She'll
out
also
to you.
get you coffee, ladies, if you need it. So.
Yeah, she'll do coffee, water, whatever. But she had a moment yesterday where something happened and she reacted and went into what if this and what if this and what if this. Oh my gosh. And it was a new experience for her. So she just went to all the what ifs and left the moment and jumped into the fear of that. Like, oh my gosh, what if this and this? And then it took a minute, and
She already told us.
yeah, why don't you know? But I wasn't going to say it on.
Oh, there's a whole podcast out here.
It's her business, yeah.
You know.
But I recognize when we talked about it later, we were talking, I recognized, that's just what happened. You just jumped to the future thinking of, oh my gosh, what if all these things? And then the reaction came from that place. And then once everybody worked with her on the situation and she was able to see, okay.
Right.
And then it was all good, right? And that's okay. I think sometimes we need to go through all that to get back to like, here's what happens when I just stay present and I, move from there. A lot of us, and me, myself included, we're so used to that reactionary situation. And when it is hot, and we're busy, and when there are things.
You're hangry.
Yes,
or
we're
you're
hangry,
worried.
or whatever, the person
whatever
cut
that.
me off, or whatever is going on, that we are a little bit less likely to stop, take a breath, and go, okay, hold on. What's actually happening? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna move from it. Like we're not doing that. We're just moving at this pace, and we're gonna fall into old patterns, which could be jumping into that future thinking of what if, and freak ourselves out over a future that isn't probably never gonna come. Or we're gonna jump back into the past, freak ourselves out about, well, last time that happened.
Exactly.
And then, I'm so mad at so-and-so, like we spin around and spin around and spin around instead of saying, okay, hold on a minute. I need a breath for a minute. I need to take a breath. What's actually happening? Here's what's actually happening. Okay, well then what do I do about that? I'm gonna go and do this. And so it requires a little bit of stop, breathe, slow down, anchor in, and get that answer. That answer is for what's actually happening. But that's the wisdom. That's the choosing wisdom. And so we really, I think the best thing to do is recognize when we haven't done it and then reframe ourselves, rethink, okay, well, next time I'll do this when this, because this situation comes again. And it's just working out that muscle, not being upset at ourselves because, oh man, I lost
Oh,
it.
what kind of
This is
spiritual
what I
person
did.
am I screwed it up again.
Right. We're not going to do that. We're going to say, okay, so here's how I reacted. Here's what I did. That's okay. Let's get back to what's actually happening. Let's calm down for a minute, take my deep breath, and what do I want to do now about it? Okay, here's what I want to do. And let's move in my wisdom. It's a practice. That's why we call it a practice. We're constantly, we've been programmed over so long to react and do and
Right, whatever your basic
Right.
response would be to
Mhm.
something that happens. I love what you said about stop and take a breath. And immediately I went stop, drop, and roll. Right.
you could. You
Right.
almost
Because
could.
anytime, right, for those who might not remember that piece of advice, right, is if you're on fire, stop, drop, and roll.
That's what it feels
So, but it does feel
It
like
does
that,
feel
right?
like
It
that.
does feel like you're on fire. So if I'm going
Yeah.
to now stop, drop in,
Yes.
drop into my heart, drop into my intuition, breathe into that space of knowing, of my wisdom, and now roll with that.
Yeah.
Pick from there, choose from there. Because if I am choosing from, and not everything I think is bad. I have some good thoughts every once in a while.
Oh my gosh.
So, but coming from my heart and coming from my intuition are generally, for me, better responses than
Right.
my
Of course.
automatic head response that sometimes is not in the mode because it's dealing with the reaction phase. It's dealing with the, I am driving on the 202 and there's 17 different cars coming and, and it's hot and the sun's in my eyes. Because I only drive into the sun both ways. I do. I drive east in the morning, the sun's rising. I drive west coming home, the sun's setting. All in my eyes. So like all those things happening and now I have to respond and my partner tells me something I don't want to hear. And I'm like, oh, no. Then it's like, okay, let's drop in.
Right.
Let's take that spot and go to our wisdom. And I think that's the biggest thing. I love this, choose from wisdom, not worry. If I go to worry, well, one, I worry that I'm going to hurt your feelings. So people pleaser comes up immediately, right? Or I worry that I'm going to make the wrong choice. Or
what are you going to think about me?
right, yeah.
Oh my gosh, this happened. What are they going to think?
Yes. And so so when we get into that,
It's a yucky feeling.
it really is. And definitely worry is, I don't know, in recovery I've heard if you worry, why pray? If you pray, why worry? So why both of it is faith, right? If you really throw worry out there, you have faith that all this horrible things are going to happen, then okay, good luck. But if you pray about something and really surrender that to your higher self, your higher power, the infinite field of possibilities, source energy, God, whatever you choose to call, then now you're taking your power back in that. scenario.
Right, and something that I kind of touched on a second ago too, but the knowledge that we very often will step into worry or we'll step into reaction, and to not beat ourselves up about that, but to recognize when that happens and then to be okay. So next time, here's how I'm going to do that differently. So like, I keep bringing up Lyric's situation because it was just so fresh in my mind, and I know she hates that, but like, so the next time something like that happens, she knows where to go now. So it's almost like sometimes we have to have that moment of that reaction happening so that then we can go, okay, next time that comes, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do this. I know what I'm going to do now about it when that comes. So sometimes it's something that happens and it's never happened before.
Right.
So we just don't just.
Right, Lyric
react.
was in a brand new situation, so she's never had that
she's supposed to-
experience
right.
before.
And so all those fears, all that stuff pops up. But now if it ever happens again, she's equipped now to go, it's okay. I know what I'm doing,
Right.
and here's what I'm doing.
And let me go ask this person. I know they're on my corner.
Right.
They'll help me
I've
through
got
this. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's really important to not shame ourselves, be upset at ourselves for a reaction that we have about something, because we always are constantly learning and evolving about ourselves if we allow that to happen. If we allow ourselves to look at ourselves and go, okay, so what were you so afraid of? What did you think was going to happen? Where did you think that was going to go? And how do I solve that or work through that so that next time it comes, because guaranteed these things come around again, almost to see, did you learn anything? Let's give it to you again to see how you react this time. And I've grown enough to know, especially with I remember having an argument with a certain person, and sometimes they would say stuff to me, and it would be so shocking that I would almost sometimes have a response and sometimes not have a response. And I'd have to think about it, and I think the next time they say that to me, I'm gonna be ready. I'm ready next time that comes around, and then next time it would come around again always, because it just does, and then I would be prepared. So I kind of feel like as we move through our lives, all of us moving through our own experiences, I mean, I can certainly say I've had that experience before too, but mine is still going to be different than yours, even if it seems similar on the outside. It's still different, but as we move through that, we learn a little bit more about us if we allow that to be a part of what's going on. You can say, okay, what was that for me? How do I want to move next time? How do I want to grow? How do I want to be? How do I want to choose? How do I choose wisdom in that moment instead of the other stuff that was so, do I want to do that again? I don't. Then how do I stay in my truth and in my wisdom in
Right.
moments like that?
So one of the things Ann and I participate in, and I'm sorry, not Ann, Evie and I participate in, best year yet here, yeah, but Ann has in the past. And one of the things we did yesterday in our workshop was the Older, Wiser Self meditation. And for those who have never done this, it's a meditation where you meet your older, wiser self who's in, sound mind, body, and soul decades from now. Mine was 99. She was a little shorter than me, but other than that, looked good. So, like, one of the questions that you ask your older, wiser self is, because they've already been here, right? So you ask, so what is it that I need to know in this scenario, this situation, whatever it is that's, you need choice and wisdom for? And I find this such an amazing meditative process for me. And because it's peaceful, because the person I'm going to is me, that this wisdom is innate. You already know what to do. You already know what to do. And in case you didn't hear me in the back, Larry, you already know what to do, right? Like, we know what to do.
We do. It's inherent.
It is. And so let me tell you what Ernest Holmes has to say about that.
What can you tell me?
Page 146, The Power Within. So through spiritual discernment, we see that we have within us a power which is greater than anything we shall ever contact, a power that can overcome every obstacle in our experience
and set us safe, satisfied, and at peace, healed and prosperous in a new light and a new life. If God be for us, who can be against us?
Amen, sister. Say that one more time, that last line.
That line, but if God be for us, who can be against us?
Exactly.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was like almost about to stand up and
I feel that.
raise my hands and
Yeah.
feel you.
If every time we have a moment, someone could just go, hey man, if God
God
is
is
for
for
you.
you,
If someone could just
against
whisper that,
you.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Oh yeah.
and I think a lot of times that's what we forget. That God is not outside of us. God is within. God is all about. There is no place that God is not.
Karen Drucker.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so going with that, when we get into a place of wisdom, of choice versus worry, we already have the answers in us.
And that's why,
I wouldn't drop our mics, but
well, they're not ours.
They're not ours.
Shells,
These
so we
are-
can't
these
drop
are borrowed.
mics, yeah. But that's why it's so important to be present, because that, in the present moment, is where all of our answers and our power and our truth is.
exactly.
When we leave and we go into that future thinking and we go over into the past thinking, where we start spinning around in all the stories we can tell ourselves, which we're really good at. Really good at telling ourselves lots of stories about what could happen and what did happen. And remember the last time you said that, what happened? We run and run and run everywhere but the present moment, which is where all of that power is.
And where you're okay.
Yeah.
You're always okay right here, right now.
And what's so always, that you always are. We have to get back to that. And that's why taking that breath is so important. That is the fastest way to get back to home, to get back to center, is to take a deep breath and anchor in.
All right, so do it. Ready?
Oh,
All right.
I feel much better, yeah.
All right, yeah. And then I want to hear it come out. Just blow it out. Ready? Ah, I heard nothing.
Oh.
I heard nothing, people. Let's try again.
Ah.
That's better. That's better. And that's what we need to do.
We do.
We just need to get grounded in the present moment.
And some people won't understand that. You know, like my husband for a little while would be like, I hate when you do that, because he took that as if I was going like that. And I'm like, oh no. I'd be like, oh no, you want me doing that. Oh no, you want me getting centered very quickly, because
Yeah.
I would rather do that than lose my
Yeah.
mind. You know,
Yeah.
like what I'm
There's a
trying to do
big
is
difference.
pull myself back to center, so I'm operating from a place of connection, not like reacting to what you're saying to me and losing my mind, you know, for a minute. So he goes, oh, okay, well, now that he knows that's what I'm doing when I make that, he's saying whatever, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I can respond. But it's not always something we remember to do, I have to say. But because I've had moments with him where I have reacted and gone in a direction I didn't later on, but I didn't want to do that. I have set that pin in myself,
I
and
think
when he
that's
does it, I
another
breathe.
day,
I need to
you know.
breathe. Yeah, right.
That's a different topic.
That's a
How to
difference,
how
right?
to get yourself back after you forgot to
Yes,
choose from wisdom.
yes. But that's because I do that now, because I have practiced that. So if we are talking about something and he kind of moves to a place where I'm getting upset, I take a breath and get myself back so I can really move from my truth, not from my reaction or my past experiences that he's triggering. Obviously, he's triggering me in something from my past, which is not actually what's happening right now. He's a whole different person than whatever he's triggering back here.
So that is the first thing, is the breath, get in the present moment.
That's so good.
Second, gratitude. Get grateful, right? There's no better way to join your inner wisdom than with gratitude. And sometimes I love Michelle's, 5 gratitude things. I love my one.
Look at what I'm writing down.
Yeah.
Writing down.
Going for the 5, and by the time you get to the 5, maybe you have a little bit more of a smile over your gratitude list, and to really put there. I know that we have a person today that has big stuff coming up next week, right?
Yes.
And so having that ability to check in and be in gratitude
Yes.
prior to, going in is important.
Right. And that 5-step thing is very simple. It's got 5 fingers on your hand. So they're always with you. And so when you're at a place where you're like really angry at somebody or angry at a situation or scared or whatever it is, you get through the 5 fingers. I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this, for this, and this, and this. And when I'm angry, that's what she's teasing me on. I'll be like, do your 5 fingers. I don't want to do it. Okay, fine. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this. And then by the 3rd one, I'm kind of like loosening up the clench. And then by this and by the 5th one, I'm kind of feeling better. But yeah, the five things you're grateful for, and they can't just be your like make them get in there and find those, because you can't hold that negativity in the same place that you're holding gratitude. It does not work. The 5 what?
The 5 of you. Can't I just make it simple?
There you go. So that's a great tool. Gratitude is a great tool for I'm grateful for. And if you're in a sense of worry about maybe you are worried about paying bills, and you can flip that and say, I'm so grateful that all the bills got paid this month. I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for.
I heard pain pills. You said paying bills.
Paying bills.
I was like, what? I'd love to hear where this one's going. What are you worried about?
Honey, that's what I heard.
Really? Pain
I
bills.
heard paid.
You heard paid? Okay.
Thank
All right.
But oh my gosh. But yes, so like learning to do things like the gratitude is a big thing, and to be grateful for things in advance, knowing that they are already done.
Yes.
That because that's the direction you want to head. If you're over here worrying, you're praying for that to happen twice. Like you're saying, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna get these bills paid. Well, okay, let's head in the direction of not getting the bills paid. Why would you want to go in that direction? I'd rather go in the direction of the bills are paid. Oh, thank you so much if the bills are paid. That's gonna move you in that direction. So it's really important that we're choosing wisdom, not worry, and we're watching what we're thinking about.
Yes.
Too, Yeah.
Because yes, being the witness to what's happening in your brain, I can quickly, especially when I first wake up, I can quickly go into story minds that have nothing to do with how I want to present in the world at all. Like my brain will start with, my cats being under my feet, like you're right, like things will happen, and I'll be like, what is happening here? I stepped on one this morning. She was so mad. I didn't mean to.
I know that. I just want
But she didn't know it. She was so mad. She was under my feet. And so, it's this thing that happens. My automatic stories happen. My brain wakes up. My itty bitty shitty committee wakes up waiting for me. Starts having a little informational meeting before I join, and I'm like just getting my protein coffee, headed in my bike, and my brain's still going. So that is one of those things, to be the observer, to be the watcher of your thoughts, what you're feeding yourself, right in that space. So that is where, for me, prayer and meditation kicks in, right? And it's like, okay, let's wash this out. Let's get rid of this noise, and that helps with being able to make a choice of where to go next and how I'm going to move from there.
And there's a great journaling practice that goes really well with that. If there is something that's spinning around in you that is upsetting you often, or you keep catching yourself worrying about the same thing or being upset about the same thing, there's a real great journaling practice where you just dump everything you're thinking in your mind, saying to yourself, you dump it all out, right? So you just write and write and write and write. Get everything out that you can possibly think of. It can take like 30 minutes sometimes, because you've got a lot of stuff up in there. The goal is that you want to get it out, look at it on paper, because we can terrorize ourselves up here. We can keep ourselves really, really unhappy, and half the time none of it's even true, which is astonishing.
Right.
But when you see it all written out, when I coach with clients, I will tell them, when everything that you've written out, every sentence that you wrote out, you're going to deal with each sentence by itself, because each sentence is its own story. So you might think, I'll look at all this I wrote, I'm going to look at this whole thing. No, we're going to do one sentence at a time. And every sentence, you're going to ask yourself, is that true? Do I know for a fact that that's true, that that's going to happen, or that's what happened, or that's, and you're going to question every single one for its validity. Is that what actually happened? And they will start to dissipate or unravel themselves off you And it is the best feeling, but it takes that work, it takes that journaling work to get that done. And then that dialogue, that version of that dialogue gets weaker. Oh, she wants a mic. The version of that dialogue starts to get weaker and, has less power because you've done the work to dissolve it and, question its validity. So it doesn't just get to, you see people on Instagram or all these reels, they're just talking stuff all the time. They just say anything they want. It's like, who's validating what they're saying? They're out there just terrorizing people, and I don't even know what the truth is anymore half the time. Well, you do it in your own head,
Right.
all by yourself.
Your own worst enemy.
So taking the time to question those thoughts and be like, hey, just a minute here. You're saying all this stuff to me. What are we doing? Because that is more powerful than anything that's happening out there. And that's
Well, I have a very dear friend that wrote this amazing play that I got to be a part of. I was an actor in this play. And my name is Roxy. And my character was reacting to a trauma that she had as a child. And in the moment that she connected with her friend group and something similar was happening in that group, what was her growth going to be about? And the message that she came up with, which resonated very powerfully for me, was it's not happening now. So all those things that we worry about, they're not happening now. All the things in the future that I'm concerned about, all the memories of the past, they're not happening now. And I mean, I'm very familiar with Be Here Now, very familiar with centering myself with breath, but there was something really powerful about that. So thank you for that opportunity.
She's the author of that beautiful play that hopefully we'll be doing someday
Yes.
soon for
Yeah.
everyone to witness because it was very powerful. But yeah, it's not, none of those things are happening now. That's why it's so important to get into the now and ask yourself, what's actually happening? And what's my move from that? What do I want my outcome to be from what's actually happening? Not what happened before, what could happen. No, what's actually happening? And where do I want to go from here? Like, where do I want to be headed to?
And so then that brings me to the next thing, your tribe.
Amen.
Thanks for bringing that up, Anne, about the play and everything. But because of the tribe, the part of that says, I don't know if this is true. I'm asking myself this, like you said. I've written it down. But now I need to bounce this off of somebody who, one, loves me and has my best interest at heart. Because I'm not that person all the time. I don't always have my best interest at heart. I want to, right? But there are time periods, like you said, we terrorize ourselves. We tell ourselves things about ourselves because that voice in our head, whether it was your mother or your sibling or your teacher or somebody who said you are not enough in some way, and you still have that in the back of your head. So you need to go to that group of people. I have a group, but you only need one, right? You just need one to say, that, my love, is not the truth of who you are. Who you are is divine light. You are stardust in form. You are God having a good time as Anne, as Evie, as Michelle. You are this divine creature, and that stuff you're telling yourself is false. Now, this might have happened. You may have made these mistakes. You could have done horrible things. Yes. Does that define who you are? No, it does not. You do not need to prove your worth. You are here, period. And that's all you need to be.
I love that.
Aw,
Beautiful. I love
she's getting
that.
all teary-eyed over here.
Get me feels. In the feels. Got me in the feels.
So how's everybody feeling about this topic? Just
What you have?
No, other than
What you have?
anybody? Anything to share? You don't have to. Sometimes
Yes,
you're
you
like,
do.
What?
Sorry.
No, we just offer it because sometimes people actually do have something to share, and we love to hear.
I mean, we love to hear ourselves talk too. So
Don't worry. Don't worry.
I was just sitting here thinking about how the universe does provide for what you need. This is just a kind of silly example, but we just got back from a 3-week tour of Europe, and the day we were packing, I just made this thought that let's just put all of our clothes in one suitcase and all of the toiletries in another, and then it'll be easier to pack. I've never done that. We've never done that. We've always had our own suitcases. And we were late getting to Toronto, which was the connection point, missed our flight, and we're stuck there overnight, and we couldn't get our luggage because it was on an international flight. And they wouldn't find it for us, so they told us to come back the next day. They guaranteed we would have it. Didn't have it, so we're wearing what we had on to the Czech Republic. We get there, and one of the suitcases is missing, and it was the one with the toiletries. It could have been a disaster because I have one wardrobe. I work in it. I go to church in it. I exercise in it. I go on vacation in it. And if I lose that wardrobe, I have lost everything.
Yeah.
So it was all in the suitcase that we got. Plus, I panic if I have to go buy something because I can't walk into a store and buy something. But anyway, it took them 2 days to find it. They did find it, but I was never really. I always just assumed they would find it. We would get it, even though I've heard stories. It's never happened before. Hopefully, it'll never happen again. But I thought, because I thought, let's just put all the clothes in one suitcase. The only thing that probably we would have been devastated about losing was my walking shoes, which would have been hard to replace. And Chris had a memento that my mother gave her in there. So, but I always felt like there was a reason why we decided to do that. And the one that went missing is the one that was the least important of the two suitcases. So God was watching out for us. I didn't worry about it as much as Chris did because she had the memento from Mom. But
I'm like, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
I gotta give you kudos.
but I just had this gut feeling it was going to show up, and it did. I mean, they literally brought it to. We went on a river cruise, and they literally brought it to the cruise for us from the airport in another town.
Wow.
So it worked out really well.
Nice,
Beautiful.
I love that. Okay, well, anybody else? Thank you for sharing that, Debbie. Anybody? Going once? Going twice? Nothing else.
All right.
Love it. Well,
Thanks.
I just feel like this is good stuff. It's
Right.
good to know this stuff.
It
It's
is.
to know how to, it's good practice.
All right, so we're gonna reiterate. We're gonna breathe.
We're gonna breathe.
We're gonna breathe.
Yeah.
It's necessary for everyone.
I mean, you have to breathe anyway.
Breath is a thing.
So let's just say,
So let's just
a deep breath, a pause breath. Where you
Pause
stop and you pause and you,
exactly.
and they can wait.
Yeah.
Whoever you're dealing with or
That's right.
whatever, they can
And
just
trust
wait.
me, they're probably gonna want you to
They
take that
want-
breath.
yeah.
They want you to take that
They need,
breath.
yeah.
Yes.
And if they're upsetting you,
They want you to take that
wait.
breath. Yeah. And then we're gonna get grateful.
no, we're gonna
All
find
right,
some
or,
gratitude.
yeah, we're gonna at least
Yeah.
if we can't get grateful, we're gonna look for gratitude. 'Cause
Right.
that is the number one thing that will help us shift from
Right.
worry
Right.
is the gratitude. And then the next thing,
Try.
our tribe.
Our people.
Yeah. But you did have us write it down too. Was that before or after? That was before our tribe. You had us write it down. Journal, just if we that and
Oh yeah, the
brain dump.
journaling. Great. I
Brain
forgot about
dump.
journaling. I
Yeah.
was like, there was something.
Yeah, there was something in between.
else that I said.
And then we're gonna
Right.
check to see if it's true. And
Right,
if
check.
we
And
and if
there's
we
stories.
think it's still true, get a tribe member, get a friend
Mhm.
to, a trusted person that loves you for who you are and knows.
We don't
that.
usually do recaps, so
Yeah.
once it comes.
Right.
I'm telling you, we don't script.
Oh, but
it just
we
comes
don't do
through,
nothing.
and then I release it.
Just
So
show up and start
I don't
talking.
know, I'm like,
4 years now,
You
we
want
just
me to
show up and start
recap? I
talking.
don't know. Let me see
I
what
know
it
what
is.
they say, but I just
No,
because I think it's really important sometimes to have the tools to remember the tools. So
Right.
to
But
use
the
them
journaling is so
purposefully.
important, the validating what you're telling yourself, because I think that's one thing. When they talk about being on a hamster wheel, that's the hamster wheel. Like they use that for different things, but the real hamster wheel is the one that is outside the present moment, spinning around in our future thinking and our past thinking and all the BS stories we're telling ourselves about the world, about everybody else, about us. Like that just keeps us spinning and spinning, and it's exhausting. And it's a miserable place to be, to running. And if we just take a breath, we're back. And we can leave. It's incredible how fast we can jump back into this because it's like our norm. the world's norm is spinning and spinning and spinning. So it's a constant reset. It's a constant practice of that deep breath and getting back to present and finding the gratitude, because everything else is telling us all this negative. My husband watches Instagram and story after story after story, negative, negative, negative. He goes, what is it? Your feed is so much different than mine. I go, right. 'Cause I
Yes,
don't
stop
look at
stalking
that
on
negative
those, Tina.
stuff. I'm not looking at this. I
Don't
don't
look
want,
at
no, I'm looking at the cute puppy dolls. That's where I want to be, right? So you got to be conscious of what you're doing in here, what you're telling yourself, and the things that are running around in here, and the spinning, and get off of that. Try to get off that hamster wheel. It's not where we really want to be operating our life from. We want to be living an intentional life that creates what we love. We can't wait to get up in the morning, even if we step on our cat. We can't wait to get up and get going,
And
right?
apologize to our cat.
Right, and we
I'll
get
make
to
it
get off your
forever.
cat, right? Yeah, so that's what we're up here, because we want to create a life we love. And then we said, and if we could work on that and figure it out, we want to share that with everybody else as we do. Because that's what we want for everyone. We want
Yes.
you to have a life you love.
Exactly.
So
Alrighty. We feel
I think
complete.
we feel complete. Like everybody feels good.
Alright.
Well, why don't you guys out?
All right, why don't you give me?
I'll do it right now.
So with the sound of this chime, knowing that we are in this present moment, this divine space that is only who we are right here, right now. I speak my word knowing that this time together has been blessed. That this opportunity to go forth with wisdom and choice from the space of our heart in gratitude, with love, is available to us as we are open to it. And for this I am so grateful. And I send blessings out to each and every person here within the sound of my voice and beyond, knowing that they are blessed, that they are open to receive, that the internal wisdom of the divine, that they are that eternal God stuff, sparkling stardust, that wisdom is available for them as they are open to it. And for this, I am grateful. And in gratitude, I say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, infinite source potential. And I let it go, knowing it is already done. I call it good. And together we say, and so it is. All right.
Love that. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for that.
So, if you enjoyed yourselves here today,
Which
I
I
hope
did.
you did.
I did.
Yeah. And you would like to participate more, click like and subscribe. Just right there. Just push it there. There you
You
go.
do it.
Thank you so much. And if you'd like to find out more about Sofa Sundays and want to join us on Facebook, we have a Facebook group called Sofa Sundays, and you can participate there in general conversation, in gratitude list, in daily information about how to have a life you love living. And if you say, yes, and more yes, then join us on our website at www.beginwithinministries.com. And you can find out about events that happen and how to become part of our spiritual church club partnership. And that is $45 a month for a single individual or $75 for couples. And you get mug shot. You get a nice mug. You get our
Coffee is better.
coffee.
In this
And
month.
even
I'm
water
sorry.
is better in
It's
the mug.
better in this one.
You get a journal. You get our classes for free. You get
Any workshops.
and stuff that we do. So it's an amazing opportunity, and you get to help us support our ministry and bring it forward to others. So again, thank you for joining us here online.
And if the financial thing, that is really important for us to keep going, all the things that we're doing, but also just sharing.
Just
Telling
share
other people about us, if that's what you can
Yeah.
do, that we appreciate that too.
Yes.
Sharing it to others, coming and seeing us in person because we love seeing everybody, bringing your friends. We appreciate all of that support.
Yes.
Any support we appreciate.
Alrighty. So
Are you?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah. I'm
All
good.
right. Have a great rest of your
And we'll
beautiful
see you-
Sunday in your week, and
We'll see you
stay
next
cool.
week. Stay cool. Stay cool.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.